cuties, besties, and ghosties. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Muertera. I am so excited to read cards for you. This is actually my second YouTube video, so just incredibly honored and grateful that you are here. Today, I wanted to break in my newest deck, which I am extremely excited about. Let me just show you the box. It is the Cute Ghost Tarot, which I just thought was adorable and really fitting for our reading topic today. We are going to check into your connection and in particular why this particular person has ghosted you. I do want to call out, I just had the craziest time setting up this video. My microphone connected and then it stopped working and I had to completely rearrange my setup, and it probably has taken me 2 hours to get everything working properly again. So this happened the second I prayed and tuned into this energy. So I just want to give you my message of support and say, I am so sorry if you are in an extremely frustrating situation that really doesn't seem to be getting anywhere. I really hope this reading can give you a little bit of guidance on whether this is a person who maybe is just going through a little bit of personal issues right now and, generally is a good person to have in your life, or if potentially this person is always scattered like this and maybe not the best person to put your trust in and have in your life. So that's really the goal of this reading, is to give you a little bit more information so you can make sure that you are making a decision that is in tune with your highest good. So before we get started, we have 3 cards here. I'm going to walk you through my reading outline just so you have an idea of what we're going to cover. We are first going to check into your energy and then also do a little bit of an energy and personality check so you can make sure that this is your pile. If the pile's not quite resonating, you can watch that pile and see if there are messages, but you can also choose a different pile as well. Definitely free to do that. After that, we will dig into the tarot, this little cute ghosty tarot mom, and we will kind of be in like a little free form for questions. So I want to see what the energy looks like between the two of you and then ask a few follow-up questions, probably centered around what's happening in this person's life and what's causing them to ghost or be a little bit non-communicative. That way we can get an idea of where they're at and if this is a healthy situation. After that, we are going to pull some channeled messages and get some advice as well. And just to note, the channeled messages will really depend on the energy and the reading. I will go to one deck that has kind of more like romantic messages. I mean, there's a variation in it, but if it seems like it's kind of like a romantic situation, if it seems like this person is a little bit more unreliable and maybe this isn't really like a romantic situation anymore, you're just getting clarity for it, I'm going to focus a little bit on what they're working on, but mostly on advice for you. Again, I just want to make this really helpful, and I know sometimes it's hard when you know somebody has feelings for you but doesn't reach out. So that is kind of the overall plan for our reading. I just kind of lost my train of thought. So sorry about that. I'm going to take you through these crystals and talk to you a little bit about what the crystals are and what they represent. And hopefully this can help you choose your decks. I will also do a little bit of a meditation with a sound bowl, and hopefully that's a little, added flair for you to really pick a pile that corresponds with your energy. So I'm going to stop talking right now because I could talk forever, and let's get to your pick a card section. Okay, so it is time to choose your pile. I will walk through the crystals and then again, just gonna play a singing bowl. Feel free, if you've chosen your pile, to skip through this section and straight onto your pile. The timestamps are in the description, and then I'll also leave a comment with them as well. So our first stone here is our adventuring. This stone is about adventure. Isn't that like something that you learn in grammar school? You are never supposed to define a word with the root of the word. But this really is about getting out there, finding new experiences, broadening your horizons. Really beautiful stone if you're looking for a change in your life. Our second stone here, cute little guy, is lapis lazuli, or lazuli. I don't know how to say it. But this is a really cute guy. He's got some veins in there, some reddy browns. This stone helps you connect your heart, mind, and throat chakras. So really great if you are working on becoming a bit more unified, between like your head and your heart. And also being able to frankly speak your mind and connect all those three. I think that's a great skill to have, to be able to balance head, heart, and then be able to speak your truth. Our third stone is a carnelian. And this stone is really about empowerment, about courage, about being able to stand in your convictions, speak your truth out into the world, and also take action behind your beliefs as well. So very empowering, courageous stone. I love this little guy. Okay. So now I'm going to play a crystal bowl, or not a crystal, it's actually a metal singing bowl. I don't know why I keep calling it a crystal bowl. And I will stop talking for a few seconds so you can make your decision. Okay, I hope this was helpful and you were able to pick the stone that you connect the most with, and I will see you in your reading. Bye. Hi, Pile 1. If you chose this cute little adventuring, this is your reading. So I have already shuffled these archetype oracle cards to represent the energy between the two of you, but it kind of came out like more like the energy that probably impacted your connection the most coming from this person. I don't like to shuffle these on camera because they're very awkward to hold. Um, but let me pull them out. So the first card that came out was prayer, and it actually came out together with the mountain. They were stacked one right on top of each other. And I felt called to pull the bottom of the deck as well. Um, this person's energy is really heavy. So if I'm moving a little slow in this reading, that's why. I feel so much pressure, to be perfectly honest, like a lot of pressure. Um, let's dig a little into these energies first. I think this person puts a lot of pressure on themselves to succeed. Agape is a card that talks about finding spirituality and finding God in everyday aspects of life, like going outside and breathing in the air. The fact that we can breathe and the fact that we can live and our bodies just do these things on their own is really magical. And this card is about realizing that that's really the source of divinity. We have this light inside all of us, and we have this spiritual connection to Earth, and there is something really divine and beautiful simply about being in this world and living. This coming out with the prayer and with the mountain, and these two cards being in reverse, I do feel like this person has an imbalance in what they put their mental energy towards and their physical energy. Agape is really about seeing the beauty in life and being amazed by what is. And I think this person has convinced themselves that their success and their happiness and everything that they need in life is at the top of this mountain. And that's what they're working towards. That's what they're putting their energy towards. It's not seeing what's around them and finding beauty and gratitude in what's there. It's forward moving, but it's really mired in their ego. Like they're praying to material objects and status and money, as opposed to actually seeing the beauty in real life. Something that I really love about this mountain card as well is it talks about people on a quest to the summit. And that's all well and good, to get to that top of the mountain. But the gold and diamonds are actually within the mountain, and you have to go deep to get them. So this person is chasing material objects, not realizing that the true gold, the true gems, the true rewards of this life are really they come from searching within. And so they are not praying to connect. They're not praying to go deeper. They're not praying to find out more about themselves. They're really on a quest for things that will satisfy their ego. And this person is stubborn as hell, and very driven. So I don't necessarily see like a spiritual awakening for this person at this point. But I think that this chase really, not only are they disconnected with themselves, but they are unable to actually connect deeply with other humans as well. Okay, so we are going to pull a couple cards in a person A and B type format. I'm going to use the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. This is one of my favorite tarot decks. And you know what? I'm going to take her. Loki's coming out already. Typically I wouldn't take a card that comes out, but I think there's something there. This person is obsessed with success. This is the Ten of Pentacles in this deck. Obsessed. Like, that is the only thing that is driving them forward. Every time I shuffle, this agape card gets further and further away for the rest of the cards. So I think there's a little bit of a message in there. You know, in this blind pursuit, this person is actually chasing away the things that would make life feel meaningful for them. Okay, so I'm going to take that one reversed. Okay, Muertos, what can you tell me about this person and how they're showing up in this connection? Like, why did, you know, the aspects that cause them to ghost? Okay, that is far too many. Far too many. But that was the Ace of Cups in this deck, so... okay. Okay, Muertos, what can you tell me about person B? I'm already going to throw it out there. This is definitely the person who ghosted. So now I want to ask, you know, how did you show up in this connection? Because I feel like there's probably a bit of a push and pull here. And I don't want to necessarily like dig into you generally as a person, although, you know, we'll probably cover some of that, but really the energy that kind of attracted you to this situation, but also attracted this person as well. Like, what are you putting out there? So Muertos, tell me about person B in this situation. One more card, please, Muertos. I'll take two. I said one more. Okay. Okay. I see what's happening here. Okay, so I'm going to adjust the cards a little bit because I'm looking over and they look really crooked. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about person A. I don't really want to call this person your person. I mean, they might be, but I'm not getting strong commitment vibes from this person whatsoever. About kind of anything in life. All of these cards came out reversed. And the last card that came out is Secret Societies. Um, this card is kind of a pre-initiation card. It's like, hey, you've gone through your spiritual awakening. You need to take the next step. And you were really peaceful sitting here with wolves in the woods, with your hands tied behind your back, and you're at peace. You trust in the universe. You know that someone's going to catch you, that God is going to catch you, that your spirits are going to catch you. And if you don't believe in anything in particular, that the universe will catch you. Um, this person does not feel this way. This person feels that they are the only person that can catch them. And I think that this is really this imbalance, because this is the Justice card in this deck. This imbalance is really created from past hurt for this person. And I feel like the situation depends, depending on who this person is and what your situation is. This could be really unfair expectations placed on them when they were kids. I kind of get the sense for some people that maybe like overbearing parents had something to do with this, where they planted this seed in this person's mind, and that's really what they've pegged their life to. Like, you need to work hard. I keep on hearing like model minority, like you need to be better than anyone else because society is going to tell you that you're not good enough anyway. So you need to work twice as hard. Otherwise you'll never be accepted. Like, I think that their parents are really well meaning and came from a place where they really wanted their child to be successful. I think for this particular person, it really distorted the way that they view themselves. Like, they really internalized those words as I'm not good enough. This Three of Swords card is really interesting because you have this person above ground and they're like drinking, they're having a picnic, they're smoking, they're having a good old time. They're in like a little like smoking vest too. But there are all these bodies and bugs underneath the ground. And I think this really speaks to the fact that this person may act like, they're laughing on the outside, or they have this fantastic life. All these things that through childhood and through conditioning of society, they absorbed to think that was really going to make them happy. But they have never resolved these skeletons. Like, I feel so sad right now. So sad. This person, they may act like they do not care on the outside, but they are protecting these skeletons with all of their might, because they really can't look at them right now. I feel very, very, very tense. Like this person's drive is what they focus on, because looking at this is far too painful for them. And I'm just thinking about, Brene Brown and the gifts of imperfection, and the way how she talks about vulnerability, and the fact that if you can't be vulnerable, you can't really truly love or open yourself up, or accept yourself. And I feel like things have happened to this person that they are not willing to accept. Like, it is outside of their vision of what their perfect life needs to look like, and so they shut it out. And whether it's mistakes that they've made, I feel like this person is also extremely hard on themselves. And so they can't really process mistakes. They probably like push back really hard, and if they make a mistake, they may cut you off completely. Like, they are not a person who will apologize or own up to anything. Um, and it's because they had this message of perfectionism, and not just normal perfectionism, but like hyper perfectionism drilled into them over and over and over and over as a child. And it distorted the way that they see themselves. And it's just really sad. Yeah. I feel like these are all the childhood versions of themselves. Um, and they can't say goodbye to them. Like, they can't process that maybe they made a mistake, or maybe they didn't make a mistake and they were punished in these circumstances. Like, there are like distinct moments in their childhood and growing up that they are not able to look at. Hmm. Um, I feel sad for this person. Um, I don't I don't think that they have ghosted out of maliciousness. I really don't. I also don't think that they are necessarily in the place where um, they can open up and have a really deep, meaningful relationship. Um, I think this person honestly would prefer to be alone at this point. And until they come into balance with the way that their goals are not really serving their happiness, I don't really see them being able to open up to anyone else either. My heart really goes out to them right now. I'm going to move on to person two, aka most likely you. If you are person A, who knows, maybe somebody at some point is going to watch this and try to figure out why they ghosted. I'm so sorry for the pain that you've had to go through. And it will get better, and you are worthy. And you are worthy of love, and especially love from yourself. And you are perfect just the way you are. Okay. I feel like I need a moment. Okay, person two. I just want to say you're kind of a badass. Kind of a weird transition moving over to this side of the pile. I think there's a very distinct reason why this person was attracted to you and wanted you in their life. I think that you have overcome a lot in your life, and it's been through your hard work and grit and determination. And I think this person secretly looks at you and really admires that. I think they see part of your life. They see that you've struggled. They see that you've gone through things. They see that you always come out on top. And this person would never say this, but they really, really admire those qualities because they are really struggling to even look at the things that they need to deal with. It's much easier for them to just avoid it and not actually deal with the trauma that they've gone through or face themselves. So Masa La Flambeau, this is the Nine of Wands in this deck, and it's really about maintaining balance through hard work. These are the Masa, and they're transferring molten pots from side to side. And underneath this is Legba, and this is the Six of Wands in this deck. And so I really do think this illustrates that you're a fighter. And I think you probably have tried to fight for this person and tried to put effort into this and tried to maintain this connection because you are used to being able to put energy into a situation and get a payoff from it. And I think this has been frustrating for you because this is not a situation where hard work is going to bring you success. Um, you're dealing with somebody who really just isn't connected with themselves and can't really give you what you're looking for. Um, I also think this person is really attracted to your sense of humor. I think humor has gotten you through some dark periods of time. And I feel like you've known this person for a while as well. And you have gotten them through tough times through humor. Like they're not really willing to discuss what's going on in their life and what they're struggling with. But when they talk to you, um, you're like, well, you know, shit's messed up. And it's cool. Like, look at this funny meme. Or, like, look at what happened to me today. And it was absolutely ridiculous. Or some stranger came up and dumped a bottle of water on me on the bus. And it was crazy. Like, I feel like this person goes to you for that type of support. Like, Le Barons talks about, it talks about unexpected change and kind of tumultuous times, but you always come out on top because you have a sense of humor, and smiling and laughing gets you through that. And that's an aspect that's mirrored in this person's Three of Swords as well. Like they want to be that person that can use humor to get through their problems, but they're not using it in a way that's as aligned as the way that you do. They look at it, I mean, they're even wearing like the same like purple color, like smoking vest. But these people they're partying, they're out, they're happy. Like they've got a little, headstone. Like they had something going on that was not super positive that died, and Les Morts is the death card in this deck. But this person is just sitting on this death and not actually processing it. I think some may have lost a parent when they were really young, and have never really been able to get over that. I'm also getting like maybe they had to be kind of the bedrock of the family, or take on more really early on because they were like they had a missing parent. And they're just not able to process what's happened to them or really face it. Like that death still haunts them. And I think they look at you and you've had really tough things happen to you in your life, but you seem to let it transform you. You seem to be able to move on and not necessarily like celebrate the death, but transform through it, learn something through it. And this person seems to just really be stuck in that hurt. I do think they just admire you so much, though. Like this fire, this grit, this ability to transform. Like they have so much respect for you, and they just look at you a little bit amazed. Because they struggle so much with that. Okay. I'm gonna run really quick and grab another candle because it took so long to set up my camera that my candle went out. So just one moment. Okay, friends, I am back. Also, hit my head on the camera boom and I'm okay. But definitely kind of a lot of like weird obstacles. Also, I was wondering if I should have lit the candle on camera for some unexpected ASMR. I don't know. Okay, so I think we've got enough through the energy check, at least enough to know if this is your reading or not. we are going to move on to the tarot so we can get our little ghosties out. And let's have some fun. I was a little worried that I was going to get some, I don't know, mess around guy energy. Can I say fuckboy on camera? Sorry, YouTube. But I don't really get that sense from this person. I think this person cares deeply, but is just overwhelmed by their own trauma. And it really prevents them from being able to interact with other people. Oh, we got the Lovers here. I think that their heart chakra is definitely blocked. Okay. So for your group, I think I am going to, because we kind of got really into to who this person is and like why maybe they have these ghosting tendencies. And it seems like this person is probably, for a lot of you, somebody in your life that you have seen through thick and thin. And like maybe you've always had feelings for each other, but it's never really worked out. I don't see this energy as somebody who would even let you get close enough. Like, they admire you so much, I don't think that they'd let you get close enough to really see their weakness. So I think maybe we should dig into maybe like this connection over the next couple months, and whether or not you can expect to hear from this person. I'm feeling like yes, but let's ask, you know, a little bit like what they're going through, and what that means for your connection. So we'll do like 4 on top for what they're working through right now, and maybe like 4 cards on bottom for what that means for your connection. Okay. Ooh. That. Oh my gosh, that was too many cards. Okay, I'll take the 5 since both of those were up. I'm always getting like 1-2 more cards than I ask for. You were only supposed to get 2 energy cards. And I definitely took 3. Okay, so this is what they're going through right now. Let's just chat through this for a second. So they are really, really focused on chasing that dollar. And I think that it is leading to a lot of instability in their life, and will eventually lead to their tower moment. I cannot give you a timeline for this or what type of tower moment they're going to have. I think that they are very, very distressed right now, and they cannot see the positive, not just in love situations, but they're so disconnected from their heart and their spiritual self, that they are unable to see the love that's around them. And because this 5 of Cups is reversed, I feel like they're really, really, really struggling to love themselves right now too. I think that they have poured so much into their career or school or whatever they're pursuing that they've forgotten that they actually need to fill their own cup as well. You know, they pretend like everything's swimming along fine. They have this coin, they're really excited. There's this page going on an adventure, they're in the sunshine. But deep inside, they feel deeply, deeply heartbroken. And they're really, really struggling at being able to love themselves. Um, and this has led them to really keep a lid on their feelings. The Queen of Cups is a pretty inactive feeling card. Um, it's more about kind of sitting with your feelings and being in tune with them, being emotional, but it's not necessarily the card of, like direct outward displays. And when it's reversed, this person is really just disconnected from their emotions, disconnected from their heart. Um, they're struggling so much to look at themselves in the mirror and see something of worth. And no matter what they do right now, like they're trying to get additional pentacles, but it seems like every time they get something like tangible, physical, promotion, raise, internship, A on a test, um, it actually leads to more discord and more imbalance in their life, because it's this very, very temporary high, like this temporary peak of, oh my gosh, I got this, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, I worked so hard for this, and then the next day they're just as depressed as they were before. They are just as sad, they are struggling just as hard. And every time they get something bigger and they get something more meaningful and something they've worked harder for, the crash is even more intense. And so this person is going through these really temporary highs and these extremely, extremely hard lows. And the lows are starting to stretch out. Because when it was just a little bit of back and forth and a little bit of instability, they were able to manage it a little bit. But now the world is getting more complex. Their life is getting more complex. They have greater opportunities. There are more things out there that they always thought would make them happy. And the fall from that is even steeper, even harder. And so they're just, every time they fall, they're so incredibly distressed. I feel like they can't even look at you right now because they're doing so terribly. And you're just another reminder of the fact that they are not good enough. Like they do not feel good enough in themselves. They feel like nothing they do is ever going to measure up. So the good news is, because this is very distressing. This is an energy that is hard to get out of. Like the Two of Coins talks about instability, but it's also about cycles. This person is kind of living this pattern over and over and over again, and it makes it really difficult for them to see past this, like, up and down. It's the only things they're really focused on. They're like, okay, well, like, I got this thing, like, yes. And then once they crash, they're just on to that next thing that they can achieve or get or buy that's going to fill that place. And it's not stable. It never actually materializes into long-term happiness. This Tower moment is going to shake that up for them. And I think it's really up to them how much they let this perception change them. I get the sense that they are going to lose something that they worked really hard for. And I can't tell on this card, again, this is the first time I've used this deck, I can't really see if there is another person in here or not. Something looks like it's falling with them. oddly, it kind of looks like a ghosty ghost, or almost maybe like a heart, but like not like that kind of heart, like the organ. um, but this person's not even, or this ghosty, this little ghosty. I mean, they're not even in distress. Do you see that? Like, you can't even see this ghosty's face. I feel like this person, and maybe they've hit this moment, to be perfectly honest. Like, maybe they have ghosted because they have hit this tower moment and they have lost something that's really, really important to them. Um, or something that they really thought was important to them, because I don't think it's actually something that would give them real satisfaction or long-term satisfaction. They're just kind of giving up. Like, there's no fighting here. Like, this is a ghost. A ghost can float. Can we just talk about that for a second? A ghost can go through walls. A ghost does not have to trip about a tower falling. A ghost can literally just float on to the next thing. But it seems like this goat has shed something and they are letting the tower take them down. And that gives me a lot of hope for this person, that they are really going to start looking in the mirror and trying to figure out, like, what fills my cup? What is going to put it from the place of spilled to the place of brimming? Like, I want this overflowing. I want this brimming full. Um, and it kind of reminds me, I did see the One of Cups when I was pulling their cards. This person really, really wants to figure out what fills their cup, because they understand that they cannot live in this dynamic anymore. And their goal needs to change. And I think this tower moment is really helping them shed those illusions that material wealth or accolades are going to fill that hole in their heart that's caused because they have such low self-esteem. Like, they need to figure out how to fill their own cup. I love this. Okay, so let's ask, how is your connection with this person going to be changing in the near future? Ooh. Okay, friends. One more card, please. I guess I did ask for 4, and now I'm being greedy and trying to get another one. One more card, please. I just want one thing. Just one card for the tower. Now y'all know how I talk to my muertos. Sing to them, sigh at them. They're really making it hard for me right now. Just one card, please, please, please. That was 2, but I'm gonna take this one. Okay. Okay, so keep in mind, I asked about the near future. I think that this person is not going to be very forthcoming about what they're going through. The Ace of Swords generally is about clarity and communication. I think this person is going to be gaining a lot of clarity internally on what motivates them, and how they actually want to, like, get from the Page of Coins to the King of Coins. They really want to be this King of Coins person, but they're not really sure how they're going to get there yet. And I think this really points to a realigning of what motivates them, and what steps they're going to take to get there. Um, I feel this Nine of Swords energy from kind of the both of you. Um, I do I do feel like there's stress on both sides about preserving this relationship, in whatever form it takes, and making it work. Um, I would really advise you from your end to just really let this person do their thing. Like, it's really up to you how much you even want to support them. Like, you don't have to be this loving, supportive person if this person is giving you nothing. Um, if they, if they come, because the card that I finally pulled out was the Empress, and it's right next to the Emperor. Um, but the Emperor is upright and the Empress isn't. And so, what this really tells me is that you are going to be loving but distant. Like, this person is going to present an emperor to the world. He's gonna really like deny the fact that like shit is not going well, right? Like, he's gonna be like, nope, like I got my pentacles, look at what I got, look at what I did, like this is amazing. And all in the background, there's going to be a lot of mental energy that really surrounds this person's values. And I'm talking about the emperor as him. It's divine masculine energy. So it is really, the Empress is about nurturing and self-love and self-awareness and bounty. The Emperor is about control and having a vision and being able to manifest that in the world. And this person wants to be this emperor. Like he wants to figure out how he's going to get it all, and he wants to show everybody it. And I don't think this aspect of this person is going to just magically change overnight. Like they're not going to just become a brand new person. I do think they are still going to look at you, and they look at you and they think you're amazing. You're the Empress. But their feminine energy is also really out of whack. And it's not balanced with their divine masculine. So when it comes to actually understanding their feelings, romantically or just in a sense of what makes them happy, they're not able to do it right now. So I think that this tower moment is really going to change that for them, but it's going to be a slow moving process. I think, the cards, the way they're stacked, are interesting. Like, you're still going to see this Page of Coins. This person tries to be happy on the outside, even if they're really second guessing their decisions and how they're living life. Their self-esteem is really mired, it's wrapped up in physical things, physical aspects. And so they're really reevaluating this because they need to build their self-esteem on something else, on self-love, as opposed to material goods. They are really struggling to process their feelings, to sit with themselves, to really understand themselves, and it's causing a lot of anguish. They're going to get there, though, right? The Ten of Blades also, like, popped up, too, as one of the cards that came out in a chunk. I feel like a lot of things are going on for this person internally, and they're going to get there. Like, they're going to get to the point where their feminine and masculine are balanced in a way that allows them to move forward. And I feel like as they move through that process, they will come back into your life and resume communication. But they're going to have to get to a certain point and build up a certain amount of self-esteem and really process this tower moment before they're able to reach out. I don't think this person would mind hearing from you. If you sent a text like, hey, like checking in, just making sure you're cool, like, hope you're well. I think this person, like, I, I don't think that they, like, I don't feel like they cut off communication with you because they're upset with you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Um, but depending on where they're at, they probably won't respond. Like if they're still here, they're not going to respond. If they're getting closer to balancing this more feminine energy and are kind of more in balance and have figured their stuff out, then they might be more likely to respond. Um, I don't think that if you're asking about a romantic connection with this person, although they have a lot of love and respect for you, I don't think that that is something this person is looking for in the near future. And again, we asked about the near future, so I don't want to, put any parameters around that. Um, but for the time being, this person is really focused on themselves, and I think you are a very special and meaningful person to them, and somebody that they admire a lot and want in their life. Uh, just right now, it's not going to be in a romantic way. Okay. I'm trying to think what I want to do next for y'all. I think I'm going to ask a little bit about the shadow aspects that this person is dealing with, because I don't get very strong, deep, not deep feelings, but I don't get the vibe that the two of you have been in a relationship before. So I think I'm going to use the Hidden Truths Oracle for this one. Oh my gosh. I'm dropping cards. And what would this person, let's ask. If this person could be completely honest, what would they say to you? This person does not want to talk. I kind of wondered, like, I didn't want we might try a different message deck if I don't get something from this deck, because, okay. Yeah, I think this person looks to you and looks to the time you spent together. And again, this person, this person really admires you. It really admires your strength, the way that you are able to tackle your demons and keep on moving forward. So I think they reflect a lot on the way that you handle yourself, and they wish that they could be more like you in that way. Yeah. I don't see this as like feelings, to be perfectly honest. I think there's a broad range of romantic feelings in this pile is what I'm kind of getting. So I really think this person wants to open up to you. There's a desire for that here, but I don't think this person is willing to get out of that divine masculine energy to really describe this tower moment that's happened to them and what they're going through. I think their pride is very strong, and they have a really hard time. Again, like, this person doesn't apologize. Like I said earlier, like, you might have had some sort of conflict with this person and they ghosted you instead of actually talking to you and telling you why you hurt them or admitting that they were wrong. Like this person isn't able to actually communicate about feelings like that in general, period. Um, all feelings, all of them, every single one. And this person feels a lot. They just don't know how to process them or like put a name to a feeling. Like they're very in the dark about their feelings. I feel like I'm literally torturing them asking for messages right now. Like just so annoyed about it. I wish things could be different. Yeah, this person really does wish that they could be closer with you at this point. Um, it's just not. It's not in the highest good for them, and honestly, I don't think it's in the highest good for you either. I think this person needs this time to really reevaluate where they're at, and how they can actually fill their own cup. Like you could dump as much energy and love into this person, and until they can actually do that for themselves, your love is never going to be returned. Your care is never going to be returned. Um, so I think this person realizes that, they wish it could be different, but they're making the decisions that they are right now because it really is for their own higher good, and they just don't know how to express that to you. I mean, the mature thing would be to tell somebody, hey, I'm going through a really rough time right now and I need some space, or I need to really work on myself, and give a reason. But we're not really living in a very mature age. We are living in an age of constant communication and avoidance, um, and I think for somebody who never learned to love themselves or love their vulnerabilities, or have constructive conversations about their feelings, I think they're very scared to do that. I think they're scared that if they told you what was going on with them, you would view them differently, and you would see it as a weakness. And this person really, really, really needs to be seen as strong. Like weakness is not an option for this person. Okay, one more message. What would they tell you? And I'm so sorry for torturing this person. I'm getting shaky right now. Like they're so nervous. It's okay. And if another one doesn't come out soon, then we'll let their energy be, because they're going through a lot. Okay. I wish I could take back my words. Yeah, I think for some of you, this person did something that they need to apologize for, and they cannot apologize for it. And it's easier to just disconnect and ghost and pretend like it didn't happen, than actually apologize, make it better. I think that's something that this person is going to really sit with. And they're replaying that conversation over and over and over, and they feel guilty about it. But they just know that they're not in a place where they could have a productive conversation like that. Like in their minds, putting this on pause is better, because they think that if you talk about your feelings, or if you talk about something that's gone wrong, like that automatically means that you're in a fight and this is over, and there's no going back from that. Like that's just final. Like there's no real like negotiation or like understanding of empathy in those types of situations with this person. I don't get a sense of like this person doesn't understand empathy. I think this person doesn't understand how to give themselves empathy. And I think that when they've expressed themselves like in childhood or in the past, they were just shut down completely. And so they really do feel like it's a zero-sum game. Like if you say anything, if you apologize, like you're showing weakness and you've lost. And again, like their relationship to their divine feminine is changing. So I do think that that's something that's going to change for them in the future. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit of advice that you can focus on in the near future, um, to take your mind and attention off of this person and their problems, because these are their problems, not yours. Okay, so we are going to use the Moon Witch Oracle deck. Yep, Moon Witch Oracle deck. These are kind of hard to shuffle, so they're really, really big cards, but they are absolutely stunning, and I love using these. I think these are a really great deck for self-empowerment, and just really getting in touch with your divine feminine. And I think this person, their disconnection with divine feminine has probably made it very difficult for you. So let's get a couple cards of advice for how you can show up for yourself while this person is working on their ish. Oh, okay. There you go. Hello. Let's do one more card. Also, let's cover this little gal with your adventuring. Okay, well, that's too many. Okay, Spirit, one more card, please. One more card. Fine, I'll take your 2. They're sassing me. Okay. So right off the bat, Spirit is telling you, do not focus on this connection. This person ghosted you, and it is a situation where rejection is divine protection. You are not meant to be closely connected with this person right now. Really, I think your challenge right now is to focus on yourself. Truly, forget about this person for now. Like, I don't feel like it's a situation where this person is the absolute worst toxic person for you in your life. But I do think that they are out of balance, and it has pulled you out of balance. And this is a reminder that they are not you. Their imbalance is not your imbalance. You are not responsible for this person. You are not responsible for making them happy. You are not responsible for fixing their wounds. Whatever you are working on, like whatever you want to develop, this is the beginning of 2023, whatever your New Year's resolution was, keep moving forward. You got this. Like, you picked the pile with adventuring, and you got a card that says fresh start, new beginnings. This is your time to shine. This is your time to take all the energy that you may have been investing into this situation and into this person. And I'm just realizing this little gal is naked too. So I'm going to cover her. I need more modesty crystals. So take that energy and invest it in yourself. Fill your own cup. This person is struggling to do that for themselves. That doesn't mean that you need to struggle to do it for yourself too. Curiosity is a really great card in this situation too. Go out, try something new. Anything that really, makes you feel happy, makes you feel like you kind of have a sun moment. Like, this card is interesting because it's kind of shiny. So you can see it, there's a moon within the sun. I think that this person has cast a little bit of a shadow on your life and on your positivity, and on that ability to really look at a situation and find the humor in it. Because I do think that's how you work through a lot of your issues. And I think that this person's heavy energy has weighed you down. And this is your time to really break with that energy, and go pursue your passions, and figure out what that means for you without worrying about this person. Um, that being said, I do think that they will contact you again at some point. If they do and they are not ready, because I think it's going to be very clear to you, like, I kind of see you as this Empress energy too. Like, you have this nurturing Empress energy towards this person, and they see you as an Empress. Like, maybe not necessarily their Empress, but as an Empress. And I think that, like, your go-to is to be, nurturing. And I think you have a lot of empathy because you've gone through a lot of tough things. Um, and I think this person may reach out to you for support, but in a little bit of a selfish way, right? Like, they're not actually able to give you anything right now. So if that happens, use your discernment. Um, if they seem like they're ready and they can be connected and they're able to understand reciprocity and have some form of reciprocity in their relationship, cool. If it seems like they are, kind of low and needing an ego boost, or really trying to kind of leech off your positivity, if they're that little moon that starts darkening your sun, just keep moving. Like, move it along. You don't have to weigh yourself down to support this person. And ultimately, I think if you ask them directly, like, they would say the same thing for you. Like, part of the reason why they've separated themselves is they don't want to put their burdens on other people, and they don't want to put them on you. But that doesn't mean that, in a moment of weakness where they really need something, they won't reach out. They always come back. They always come back. Okay. So this is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for spending time with me, especially on my second reading on YouTube. I'm so grateful to have you here. If this resonated, please comment down in the comments and let me know what resonated, what your takeaways were. Again, like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content. I will probably do some more ghosty videos because I'm obsessed with these little cards, and I like hanging out with y'all. So I hope you have a great rest of your week, a great year. This is timeless, so whatever year you find this. And I hope you come and hang out with me again soon. Okay, bye. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose the little lapis stone, this is your reading. So excited to have you here. Thanks for sticking around and clicking through to the reading. I have shuffled a couple archetype cards for us to check into the energy that's going on in this connection. Really focused around why this person ghosted. Okay, so let's kind of go through these cards one by one. The first card that came out was the Poet in reverse. I kind of immediately got a little bit of a flaky vibe from this card. Like, this person might be really good with their words. They might make promises that they can't keep, but they're a charmer. They kind of got their head in the clouds, and they draw you into that journey. I think the Poet, when it's in an upright position, really talks about being able to motivate people with your words and craft a story that's universal, that can draw people in. And I feel like this person created a story that they didn't really ever have necessarily an intention of fully following through on. So that was kind of like my first feeling from that card. The next card that came out, I almost shuffled this one back in because it came out in a big chunk. but I really felt called to take it. It kind of confused me a little bit at first because a medallion is about like family keepsakes or treasures, something tangible that's passed along. Um, but it's interesting with this poet card and kind of the vibe I got from that. Like, and I'm having a hard time channeling this person a little bit. Like, the last pile was really heavy and just like focused and driven, and I could really tap into that. Although very unwilling to talk about feelings. um, this person, I feel like there's a reason why this medallion is hanging up in the air and this hand is stretched out but not really reaching it. Like, I think this person may have made it seem like they were offering something very tangible. Maybe they did give you a gift, but this person never really like was ever going to follow through on what they promised. They just kind of were spinning tales, you know, building castles in the sky and bringing you along on that ride. Um, and honestly, just kind of stringing you along. Like, this is not super stable energy. Um, so the next card that came out was the Pilgrim. And the Pilgrim can talk about going on a spiritual journey. Ill-dignified or upside down. It can talk about being flaky and inconsistent and not being able to follow through. Like, I feel like this really, it's sideways. And I see this direction as pointing forward. So I do feel like this person is just kind of like keeping their options open, and they are looking to other horizons. Like they were never going to commit in the first place, and I feel like they're kind of ready to bring the flakiness to the next person, if that makes sense. Like they're kind of keeping their options open. I think they probably were always keeping their options open. And they kind of led you on with their inconsistency. And for this person in particular, there might be a range of how malicious this was, but I do think this person understands that they were keeping their options open, and at the same time lying to you about it, essentially, like making you think that they were offering something tangible, when really, like, they don't want to commit. They want to go on a journey. They want to keep moving on with their life. And maybe you fit into their image for a season, and I feel kind of like a callousness from that person. Like, they're very self-serving with the way that they treat relationships, almost in kind of like a little bit of a love bombing sense. Like, they get really excited. They're like, oh, we're going to do these things. Like, we're going to travel the world together, all of these. And then stuff starts to get, like, actually serious. And, oh, no, this isn't just a castle in the sky. Like, it's getting closer. Oh, my gosh. Like, oh, no, I need to, like, offer something real. And then they're like, nope, let's short circuit this. Like, it's time for me to figure out where to go next. Pretty selfish energy, if I have to say. Okay. So we are going to pull a couple cards in a person A and B format. A is, I'm just going to call them the ghost, and B, I'm guessing is you, the ghostie. It's okay, we've all been there. And honestly, rejection is divine protection. Interesting, when I cut the deck, is really is the Seven of Swords in this deck. But this card talks about disappointments in love. Love not taking solid forms in the way that we would like them to. Disillusionment, illusions in love. It's very like Seven of Cuppy in this deck. So I do feel like this person promised you the world a bit, and you had a lot of hope for this connection, and they just didn't deliver on what they said they were going to do. Frankly, I mean, I know I chose to do this reading, but rude. I'm not the most impartial reader. You'll notice that. Okay. Maybe one more, just for kicks, because we use this in the last pile. Okay. Okay, Spirit, what can you tell me about this person and why they are ghosting? Oh, that's the Ace of Wands. Ooh, too many cards. Too many cards. Okay. Oh, wow. These same two cards came out in the last reading. You might find something in pile one, but I mean, this could be like second part of that story, to be perfectly honest, but I do feel a different energy. So if you felt called to it, you could check it out, but I wouldn't say that everybody should. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this person. You'll notice that every single card is reversed. This person is, I guess I'm going to rip them a little bit for a bit. I feel like they're extremely, extremely selfish. I feel like they're probably very attractive and they know it. And they really act in ways that are very self-serving, and they understand that like they're offering, like, Ace of Wands in reverse can be a false start. Like this person understands what they're doing is what I have to say about them. I think that they know that they're flighty. Like the Ace of Wands in reverse, like, gives me a very hot and cold. They're there, they're absent, they come rushing into your life. It's very dramatic, or it's very passionate, and then they just like disappear again. I feel like this person has a like pattern of doing this. It's not just something messed up happened in their life at one point and they just ghosted a bunch of people, or like tried, like, didn't want to be in contact with them. I think this person just is very self-serving, and they almost objectify people. They're very interested at what they can get out of you, and I think that's why they come across as this dreamy poet, really building these castles in the sky, because they're addicted to the sound of their own voice as well. Like they really want a rapt audience to listen, and I'm sure that they are, a very, very eloquent speaker, or very charismatic. And so it's easy to get pulled along to this. But once they have you hooked and you start actually expecting something from them, then they just kind of disappear. Like this just seems like they're just all over the place. Leveline is the Four of Cups in this deck, and I think that they realize that they are like offering an empty cup. They're not ignoring the love that you're offering them. They are encouraging it, and then they're bouncing once it like starts to take root. They're like, okay, cool, 1 of cups. Okay, cool, 2 of cups. Yeah. 3 of cups for like partying. There's other people. And then like 4 cups. Like, dude, you want something more than that? Nah, I'm not going to give you that. And the whole time you're probably like, but you've been saying that this is what you want the whole time. Like you want to build this future together, and you want to create something and think about the dreams and the plans and all of the things that we have started to put into place. And they're like, yeah, but I mean, like, you don't really want that, right? Like, and maybe a little bit of even like gaslighting. Um, they're just not a stable energy. This is the Justice card in this deck. I think a lot of this comes from their lack of trust in themselves, um, and maybe lack of trust of primary caregivers when they were growing up. Like they don't really like getting close to people. It's much easier for them to just kind of like use somebody, and the second they get close, they're like, yep, it's time for me to go. And they might have like the money or resources to do that, or again, just kind of like rely on their looks. But they're promising this bright future, and they're not actually putting in the physical work to ever have that manifest. And that's why you have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Like you probably invested a lot in this, but they're on the other side. Like you're the pentacle that's like up, they're the pentacle that's down. They're just like watching you invest, and like put more and more energy into it. And they're just like sitting here like, cool. Like, I got attention, I get sex, I get somebody to listen to my poetry. Like, this is amazing. But the second you're like, hey, I've actually been putting a lot into this, and you said you're going to do X, Y, and Z. Like, what's up with that? And then they're like resentful of it, and they just bounce. It's a very unfair energy. I'm not a super huge fan of this person. I'm going to put it out there that I think you deserve better. I don't know why I decided to shuffle this again, but we're shuffling that. And sure. Okay, can you tell me about pile 2 in this situation? Okay, so remember how I said this person kind of like objectifies people? Yeah, that's what they did to you. And can I just say, you're a major like badass, so screw this person, whatever. I feel like I just want to like gas you up for the rest of the reading, because I feel like this person just is flaky and probably like gave you a pretty solid mind trip down crazy lane. So let's talk about you for a second. I think this person is crazy attracted to you. I think you are an attractive person, not only physically. You might be very attractive, very beautiful, but I think that there is a fire to you. Like, you attract. And I think this might not be the first person like this that you've dealt with. Like, maybe you're coming to this reading because you're like, shit, I got ghosted again. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, why do I keep attracting these weirdos? Number one, it is something that you're putting out. So like, be aware of that. Like, you are putting out this amazing vibe, and people want to be around you. So I think for you, it's really about learning to discern earlier on, when you're around people like this. Like, I think you need to take a look at this situation and really think critically. Like, did I know this earlier on? Like, I didn't need to wait for this person to actually like fail at following through on what they said they were going to do. Like, I had some major warning signs and red flags earlier on. I think you can connect the dots for this person. This person seems pretty obvious, to be perfectly honest. I don't think that they're very, you know, they seem exciting, but like not the like craftiest person in the world. Um, I think, you know, like Mambo is the queen of fire. I think that you are magnetic. Um, for people who are missing something in their life, which this person is definitely missing something in their life, I think you are very, very, very attractive. Um, you got a fire in you. Like, this is the Eight of Wands. Like, you're out there, you're fun, you make stuff happen, you make this person, you made them feel good about themselves. Um, and I think that, like, Dr. John is the magician in this deck. I do think you have the ability to manifest, and you also, I think you can talk a good game too. So I think the two of you like really, really traded ideas, and really went back and forth, and that was kind of the foundation of this. But this person never had any intention of following through on them. But like, you're like, hey, dude, I got the magician and the star here. Like, I have the ability and the determination behind it. I have the ability to turn my dreams into reality. Like, these aren't just a distant star. Like, this is my destiny, and I'm going to speak it and will it into existence. Um, and that person latched onto that fire and was like, yes. Um, However, you have this fire. You have this ability to take your dreams and make them reality. This person does not. This person is kind of devoid. Like, they seem like a bit of a shell to me, to be perfectly honest. Like, and no hate. I said that I was about to rip them, and I think I've followed through. Um, but I think that they're gonna just continue doing this. I don't see any self reflection in here, or, you know, any remorse for the way that they act. I do think justice is here, and I think that justice will catch up with them. Like, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but they cannot continue in this energy and keep just drifting around. Like, you can do that in your 20s and maybe into your 30s, but by the time you get to your 40s, people start looking at you like, what is wrong with that person? Like, they haven't figured it out yet. Like, what? Like, ooh, why is that 50-year-old hanging out with 22-year-olds? Like, you know, like, kind of that vibe. So I just want to say, you're dope. This is a crazy energy, and I'm excited for what you do in life, because this is straight up power. Like, this is dope. Um, okay. I actually don't want to talk about this person too much. Like, I mean, we could get advice for you, but this person is just like devoid of any real self reflection. So I more want to dig into, because I do get the sense that like you kind of attract people who like latch on to these amazing qualities that you have and try to like fill a hole within in themselves in a really selfish way. And I want to get you a little bit more clarity on things that you can work on to stop these people from getting close to you, and maybe like recognizing the energy a little bit earlier on. This is very different than what I did with pile one, but I kind of figured like the ghosty reasons were going to be so different that that I leave like the inner questions a little bit up in the air and open. But just look at this. Like, if you could just screenshot this and like put it on your wall, like, this is some dope, dope energy. Oof. Let's just like gas you up for the next 20 minutes. That's just kind of my dream and vibe right now. Okay, so now it is time to pull out the Ghosty Tarot, which I'm excited about. I just love little ghosts, little skeletons too. Make me so happy. Also, if you were person one in that situation, really sorry. Also, this is your big sis saying, get your shit together. You don't want to be that 50-year-old hanging out with 21-year-olds. People are going to think you're weird. You're not going to feel good. Get it together. Okay. But even if you are pile one, or pile one, I keep on saying pile one. Maybe you need to watch pile one, to be perfectly honest. If you do feel like you're person one, you might get something out of this as well. Like why you keep attracting relationships where you feel like they're gonna fill a place in yourself. Like maybe you're gonna see something here that you want to cultivate within you. I think that would be a good way for you to go. Okay. My pile twos. What are you putting out? I want to ask Spirit, okay, my muertos, what is pile two putting out that is attracting this ghosty energy? And I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not going to channel this person's channeled messages because, no. So we're going to do something different with that too. I cannot with this person. They do not get to talk to you like that. Because it's honestly like, whatever they say is going to be complete bullshit anyway. Sorry. I keep on laughing. I feel like your spirits are laughing too. Like they know. They know. Okay. So like, let's just talk about these two cards on the outside. Like you are all that and a bag of chips. And these people know that. They're looking at you. You got the 10 of coins. Like in their head, you know, normally in the 10 of coins, there are two people or two little ghosties. There's only one here. So these people are looking at you like you are going to, like you are the 10 of coins. Like you got that potential in you. But they're not trying to build a 10 of coins moment with you. They are trying to be self-serving and selfish and build a 10 of cups, 10 of coins moment for themselves. Like you don't even really factor into these people's long-term plans because they're so selfish that they only think about themselves. I think that you are far too giving of your time and far too giving of your attention. And to be honest, I think you do chase a little bit. You know, there was 4 of Cups reversed in the other spread. And I think this is mirroring here. You're out here offering a cup to someone who is really incapable of taking it. And by doing this, like you were doing yourself dirty, truly. And I think it causes like almost a war within yourself as well. Um, I think you tend to put people on a pedestal. Like when you met this poet person, you honestly might have thought that they were like a little bit out of your league. And like you got it twisted because they were never out of your league. Like they're so far beneath you, you have no idea. Like you were completely out of their league and they saw that. They're like, ooh, okay, I can get something out of this person because, like they're like, you're the Nine of Cups over here. Like, you should be the Ten of Cups, but you're over here like offering your 10th cup to somebody who's like, well, let me just add this cup to my Three of Cups. And they basically took your 10 of Cups. They took it away from you. They're like, well, whatever. Like my Four of Cups is more important than their 10 of Cups moment. Like they don't need that. Whatever. Like they literally just completely disregarded the fact that like you actually gave them something. They're not able to give it back to you. So I think in the future, really looking to see like, is there give and take to this relationship? Is there reciprocity? Is this person giving me anything? I don't think this person actually gave you anything. Which is interesting because the medallion is all about like giving something tangible. Um, but I think that was just all like a spun castle in the sky. Like it never really amounted to anything. Um, Not anything that's like real, in the love realm. Um, the war with yourself, I think, is finding that inner peace and finding that self-worth, um, where you understand that these Seven of Sticks are attacking you from below. Like these are low vibe thoughts, low vibe people, and you're up here on a cloud and you're a ghost. Here, there's a little shine on this card. Let me pull this up for you because you need to see it. You're a ghost, you could float up. Like, you do not need to be messing with any of these Seven Sticks. You're like half-heartedly like hitting them down, like whatever. Float up. You are the magician and the star. Like, get out of here. Like, in this deck, that star means destiny, like your life path, your birthright. You can manifest anything in this life. And I think the biggest thing that stops you from manifesting what you really want is yourself. Like, you are truly sabotaging yourself and fighting against yourself. As someone who does that personally, I understand. And I'm going to tell you again, you are phenomenal. You are absolutely amazing. And people are looking at you and seeing that. And instead of seeing it yourself, you have these battles within yourself. Like, oh, I'm not good enough. Like, oh, like, like somebody like that wouldn't be interested in me. Like, yeah, they would. If you actually rose above and stopped, like, get up, stop your shit, and actually invested your time in yourself instead of these people who are flaky and don't actually give a shit, your life would change so much. I think this creates like a lot of instability in your life and a feeling of lack, because instead of giving this energy to yourself, you are sabotaging yourself by giving it to other people. And then when they don't accept that cup, you came from this like this huge high, like, oh my gosh, I found this amazing person. I'm so invested in them. They're so like they're hot, they're successful, they've got all these things, like, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh wow, this person this person never invested in me. I gave and gave and gave and gave, but I never got anything back. Like, I'm still over here with the Nine of Cups, and that's how I started. All of this, and I haven't really gone anywhere. Like, I feel like I've just been on this roller coaster and this balancing act, and I haven't made progress. And I think it takes you a while to get back to that point where you're in balance again and you even have another cup to offer. Like, this throws you off track every single time. And so I think your challenge here is to really, at the beginning, like the beginning, make sure there is reciprocity. Make sure this person, their goal is not to take from you without giving back. Like, there should be equal give and take. And that can ebb and flow over time. But you want to get to your Ten of Cups moment. And you're not going to get there alone. You're also not going to get there with somebody stealing your cup. So I think that is really, you know, the struggle that you have is really seeing your self-worth, being able to rise above. Because I feel like there are people who try to cut you down and lower your self-esteem and make you feel lesser than, because they can see how powerful you are. You can't see it yet, but they sure as shit can. And they know once you start using that power, like, they're not going to get stuff from you anymore. This probably isn't a pattern that, like, you probably have other relationships in your life besides just romantic ones where you give more than you get. They don't want you to see that. Like, they like taking from you. So they're going to attack you, you know, like little digs, little insults, you know. Are you sure you want to do that? Oh, you know, well, that's a really hard school to get into. You applied to a lot of backup schools, right? You know, just like little things that weigh you down and drag you down that you don't really notice at the time, but then later you're like, I don't feel good after that person said that. It wasn't very supportive. Like, yeah, it's because it's not supportive, and they're not there to support you and help you rise up. You need to float on up. Okay. I think I've talked this road to death while we're talking about little ghosties. Little ghosties. Okay. I just feel very good about this. I think you're going to be fine. I really think if you just sit with yourself, give yourself a hug, you know, I don't think this pattern's going to repeat if you really look at it and critically think about it and what happened in this situation. Gonna think about. So I think I'm gonna be done with the tarot for now, because this is pretty straightforward, I think. I am going to ask about what your major blockers to this self-love are, because I think there's a reason why this is at the center of the spread. I think if you cut ties with the things that are weighing you down, like, you're going to have a lot less highs and lows and just be a lot more stable. And it's always good to kind of identify the blockages that are keeping you from, you know, being able to be your best self. So I am going to ask Spirit to just give, because honestly, I'm not going to ask for channeled messages from that person. Person one doesn't get to give you channeled messages because they're not going to be truthful. And this is the hidden truth oracle, not the hidden bullshit oracle. And that's all I have to say about that. Yeah. They might not like that. You're wearing headphones and that little yell was loud. I make a lot of noises sometimes. Okay. So what is a blockage that pile 2 can work on in order to attract a stable connection? Forgiveness. Okay. Interesting. Oof. Oof. Okay. I kind of am called to take this one because I think there's a few messages in there. Let's do maybe one more, like the ruling blockage is... Okay, this is making sense to me. Okay, I feel like you carry a lot of guilt. How do I want to organize these? I feel like you carry a lot of guilt for the actions that people did not take towards you. So, like, you look back and it's really hard for you to forgive yourself in a lot of these situations because you blame yourself. And it's totally understandable, right? Like, when we make mistakes and we trust people that we shouldn't, it is like a little bit of a blow to our self-confidence. And we start to question our decision making. Remember that every time you go through a situation like this, the most important part is that you learn something from it. And cycles are really hard to break. This might happen to you once. This might happen to you a few times. This might happen many times. I mean, we're in the age of online dating where like ghosting and is common. And it's really hard when you don't have a social network that gives people accountability. Like if you're never going to see this person again and they're not in your friend group, like there is far less of a motivation for them to actually be a good, generous human being. So I think that it's good to process these situations, and it's good to forgive ourselves, right? Like, things happen for us, not to us. And if you keep that idea in your head when you're processing this person ghosting out of your life, it is going to make it a million times easier. And also a million times easier for you to recognize when someone is full of shit in the future. Because it's a them problem. It's not a you problem. The only thing that you did, in this situation was open yourself up to somebody who couldn't actually give you what you need. And it's important to forgive yourself for that. Say, hey, I'm sorry, me. I love you. I let you down on this one. I should have listened to the signs. I should have taken better care of you. And then move on. And then stand up for yourself in that way the next time. I want to talk about this one first or last. I guess we already did that one, so it's not first. I feel like there is a blockage here in being able to express yourself. And I don't necessarily even mean like in romantic feelings. I think it's being able to express your wants and your needs in a relationship. I kind of see this in tandem with, I want to tell you how I feel and I want to be more than friends. Because of the energy in the previous spread, like I think this is more about being able to express your desires, right? Like being able to tell somebody, hey, like you're not actually chipping in, or hey, like I actually need this from you to be fulfilled in this relationship. I think it's probably like more comfortable for you to keep giving, as opposed to actually having these crucial conversations. That's also a really great book too. If you struggle about having emotional conversations with people, it's like a like work skill book, but I think it's so useful. Um, Honestly, you could probably look up the cliff notes online and it would be just as useful as the book, because those books generally have like 10 lines of advice and they're like 50 pages. But I do think that there is, and remember, like, Lapis, I just threw the crystal. I'm getting all excited. Lapis is about connecting your mind and heart and your throat. So it's about knowing how you feel, processing your feelings, and then being able to speak them. Like, how did this person's actions make you feel? How are your needs not being met? And then down here, I was kind of covering this by mistake, but I wish I could share my good news with you. How are you going to share that with this person? I mean, not this person now, right? Like, don't talk to this person anymore. This person sucks. Sorry. I really hope. I need to be a little bit kinder, because it's a general reading and I'm sure that there are like different flavors here. I think a lot of this is learning not to blame yourself for it, and learning when the right time is to have these conversations and assert your needs, and let this person or whoever you're dating know how they're hurting you. If you're able to have these conversations earlier on in your relationship, situationship, whatever this was, you are going to be able to suss out that this person is not 100% reliable way earlier on. And you're really going to be able to dodge a bullet moving forward. So I think this crystal really had your back here. The muertos had your back. Like, learning to align your head and heart and then being able to speak it into reality. Like, I think that is the message of the pile too. Like, you're the magician. You can speak things into reality. You have that power. I said at the beginning of the reading, you have the power to speak things into reality and to create the life that you want, to live that destiny. And this is your message to figure out how you can put on other people what needs to be on them and stop putting it all on yourself, because it's a relationship and there is give and take, and there are two people in it, not just you. It's not just you, oh, this failed, this didn't work, it's my fault. Like, no. It takes two to tango. Like, you offered the cup and didn't take the signs that it wasn't being accepted. You didn't voice your concerns or voice your feelings or your needs, your desires. But that doesn't mean that this is your fault. That's just something that the next time you're going to do better. Okay. That's all I have to say. Like, you're a magician. You're a dang magician. I'm going to wrap up with advice. If I can find the deck I just used. Oh my God. I don't know how I just lost this. I literally just used it in the last reading. This is my life right now. I told y'all that I spent like 2 hours resetting up my camera and my entire setup, because I don't know, this ghosty energy has definitely got to me a little bit as I've been reading. Okay, friends, I have found the deck. It was so far away and I really Don't know how it got that far away. Um, so I'm going to use the Moon Witch Tarot as your advice deck. I love these cards. And let's just ask advice, you know, how you can incorporate this information and make sure that the next connection that you have is successful, because no one likes a ghost. I mean, I like ghosts, but not in a relationship. Love it. Hecate is coming in strong for you. Strap. Kali. Oh my gosh, you got the 2 dark goddesses in this deck. Love it. Love it. So I practice Santeria and Oya and Lilith. Okay. I feel like Oya is speaking to you directly, truly. I practice Santeria, and Oya's energy is very like these 3 ladies. So, change is important, release the past. This is right on the forgiveness card. Remember, we talked about being able to know what was your role in this, right? Like, and forgive yourself for making mistakes. Change is important. So only sit with this as much as it gives you time to understand, process it, learn from it, and then bye. Like, you do not need to sit with this. This is not something that you should take to heart, or take as a knock to yourself, or, you know, let anyone else like determine your self-worth. You are a goddess. Look at these ladies who just came out for you. They do not come out often, by the way. I feel like, look at this. Like, you have a past, present, and future. Let go of the past. And offer a little flower to the past, right? Like, thank you for your lessons. Thank you. Learn as much as you need to be able to step into the future and then be your goddess self. That is all you need to know from this situation. Kali. This is a gilded card, so I'm going to just tip it until we get some on there. Step into unknown and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to speak your truth. This might be something that's new and uncomfortable for you. This is something that is really going to help you so much in the filtering process. Like, identify the people who are not there for you and get them out. Even if that means that you're stepping into the unknown. And I think that you could do this probably with some of your friends as well. This is an energy that is just kind of interwoven in your life, right? Like, this isn't just romantic relationships. This is also friendships. I mean, we even have like friends in here. And it might not necessarily be like, oh, there's a friend who you want to be more than friends with. Like, it might just be like, hey, this is a reminder that this is energy that is happening in your whole life, not just one section of it. So don't fear change. These are cards about change. Lilith, reclaim your power. Don't be afraid to get a little messy. Like, she's walking in blood, okay? You are powerful. You are that magician. You have the ability to speak things into reality. Don't forget that. Look, she's touching her throat. Like, learn how to use that throat chakra. When you don't like something, when something doesn't align with you, when you have needs that are not being met, speak them. Speak them. You are powerful. You get to tell people yes, no. You're not a doormat. You don't exist to just give and give and give endlessly. endlessly to other people and then get nothing in return. Like, no, no. Um, okay. I'm very excited for you. I think that if you really learn how to assert yourself, it doesn't have to be in a negative way, right? Like, asserting yourself is good, it's positive, it's supporting and loving yourself. I think you are going to be able to do amazing things. I think you are actually going to really surprise yourself. Um, like, really. Okay, so this is all I have for you. I'm sorry again that this situation happened to you. I'm sorry you were ghosted. It is never a good feeling. It is extremely rude and hurtful. And my condolences, my friend. However, I think you're a badass and I think you have so much to offer, and you are going to find somebody who is obsessed with that. And you might have to kiss a few toads, but that's only just going to be practice and asserting your needs and really learning what do you need, what do you like, and really being able to get that clarity earlier on, as opposed to waiting and waiting and waiting and wondering why this person is not delivering what they promised. Okay. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. This was really fun, and I'm really grateful to have you here. Again, this is my second YouTube video, so still pretty early on. So if you made it here, I feel like universe is really saying, hey, this is your reading. If you resonated with the reading, please comment. Comments will help me so much as I'm growing my channel. Please like and subscribe as well if you enjoyed the reading. Again, I have so much gratitude. I really stand this energy, so I don't know who you are, but I love you. I love it, and I hope you will come back and hang out with me again in another reading. Thank you. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. Thanks for sticking around. Welcome to your reading. So I have shuffled a couple archetype cards for you so we can do a little bit of an energy check around this person and why they're ghosty. And then we will pull some tarot and do a person A and B format and just do a little bit of an energy check. So you can get some more information about the situation and then also make sure that this is in fact your pile. Okay, so these are the three that came out for you. Something really interesting. So 3 cards actually popped out at the beginning and I shuffled them back in. And it was the Eternal Child, the Father, and then Apocalypse. And so the Eternal Child actually ended up coming out again. So I do feel like those cards are related, and I'm going to kind of get into them, but I feel like those are like a little bit of a subtext here. So the riddle. I get this like aura of confusion from this person. I feel like there are hands doing a variety of different things around this card, and I feel like this person is like active. They're always doing stuff, but like there's not always really a purpose for it, like they really value staying busy. Like they almost like over busy, right? It's almost their like avoidance mechanism. Like they don't really give themselves time to actually figure their own self out. They're just kind of like talking, doing things. Like they might go to the gym and then they go to work and then they do this, and on Tuesdays they do that. Like it just seems like their life like is hectic to me, and it's hectic for a purpose. Like they don't really, they kind of have a stubbornness. Like they don't really want to delve inward. They don't really want to uncover their own secrets. They're kind of like standing at this threshold, like, and these kind of look like the little snaky pretzel things. Like they know that there's something out there, but they're like, I don't know. Maybe next year. I don't know. Maybe next month. I don't know. I don't know if that's really right for me. Like, maybe I'll try it out. Maybe I'll like dip a little toe in. It's kind of weird the way these cards are too. It's like they're inside the riddle. They're inside their own bullshit, and they're just like, yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, like I just get like a very like non-committal, very like busy energy for them. And they might give you an excuse like, oh, I just don't have time. Oh, it's bullshit. Like they make themselves busy, so they can be avoidant. Um, let's dig into why they're avoidant. This person, again, like I get like a very like busy energy from them. They're probably like all over the place. They're like super excited about life, like pumped. They're just not really interested in getting into the deep, dark stuff. Like they really just don't want to go inside. And so they'll like make all these excuses and plan their life so they don't have to. Um, and they're really like, say that this is like their inner world and their soul. They're like deliberately holding it outside of their body. And they're just, I just don't feel like they're like super interested in going any more than surface deep. Like the dark kind of scares them. I feel like this person has a lot of issues around the potential of being a father. Like they may have had an overbearing father. Maybe for some people that really gave them a lot of doubt on whether they really wanted to be a dad. I also kind of just get the sense that that would be a lot of responsibility for this person. And so they're probably looking for something that's like really fun and casual that doesn't really rock the boat and doesn't really like push them over this threshold. They're just kind of like, like it's all fun and games. Well, it's all fun and games, but like I'm just not interested in going any deeper than that. So if that's what you're looking for, I'm out. But this person is also the eternal child, so their ability to communicate that versus just ghosting you is probably pretty low. Let's be real. I feel like I'm getting, more blunt as I go through these these piles. Okay. It's also getting later and later at night. Whew. So, Muertos, what can you tell me about this person and why they ghosted? Why they're baby ghosty? Let me cut this. I don't know why I pulled apart the cards like that. That was really difficult. Come on. Nope. Okay, well, I tried. Okay, my muertos. Let's do a couple cards. Like 3 or 4. I'm cool with... I'm not going to say however many because I've been getting just globs of cards tonight. Interesting. Possession in this deck is the Chariot, I believe. And Marasa, which is the Lovers, the Twins. And I forgot to mention it, but this is the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. I love this deck. And you will see, I will use it a lot. And Oya, my mama and Osha, coming up in reverse, and Azaka La Flambeau. Okay. Let's talk about this person for a second. This person don't like change at all. Um, and they really want to keep their life move towards the lighter side of life. Um, I feel like this person really loves love when it's very, very light and fresh and they feel connected to somebody. Um, I feel like once once it starts getting hard, um, this is the Ten of Wands in this deck. Once it starts getting hard and you have to make really difficult trade-offs, I think they kind of bounce. Like they, if you can see in this card, um, I don't know if you can see that well, but there's like two lovers wrapped up in an embrace here, and this tobacco smoke, and this card's really about uncertainty, um, in the future, and uncertainty that your efforts are going to pay off. I think this is the one that talks about like famine and Haiti and not really knowing if your country or your family is going to survive. Um, and I think this person would much rather stay in the lovey-dovey phases than actually get deep down into a relationship where you have to actually have those discussions. Like, where are we going? Let's define the relationship. What are your long-term goals? Do you want kids? This person does not want kids. Like, they want to be the kid. They are the kid in their life, and they don't want a family. They don't want the responsibility of it. The responsibility of figuring out, oh shit, how do I feed this kid? Like, oh no, I can't just like decide one day that I'm gonna go teach English abroad, or I am gonna move across the country, or hey, I'm gonna go backpack for 3 months and work on a farm. Like, that's kind of the type of person that this is. Like, they want the freedom and the options to be able to do whatever calls to them at that time. Like, they kind of have this like jovial vibe to them, but they're protective of that. Like, they want to keep their life the way that it is. Oya is about change, is about swift change. And in this deck, she is represented by the Three of Pentacles, which is really building foundations for the future. Like, this person, they don't want to think about the future. Future? No. No. Like, this person does not want to be a person who builds something for the future. They want to live in the present. I think that is very telling that the Chariot is in reverse as well, because there is this stagnancy here. Like, they don't want to take that step. They don't want to like venture out into unknown. They don't want to move their life forward in that way. And the Chariot is about finding life in your balance, balance in your life, and having that driving movement forward, and actually being able to manifest things and make change happen in your life. Like, it is a card about movement, and here that card is stagnant. In this deck, it's possession as well. So I think this speaks to the fact that this person is so busy for a purpose, right? Like, they want their life to have the reins in a certain way. Like, their schedule dictates what they do and how they do it to a certain degree, right? Like, they're like, oh, the next 6 months I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this. Like even if they're kind of more of like a free spirit, they're still like jam packing in things to do. So they have this driving force behind their life that doesn't necessarily need to be like them going inside. Like, they're all very external things. So yeah, if you were in a partnership with this person, I feel like you tried to be, and things got more serious than they wanted them. And because they're a little baby, they did not give you the time and the respect to actually break up with you in a respectful and adult-like manner. Rude. if I said that in Palo 1. I think it was nicer in Palo 1, but Palo 2, definitely rude vibes. I think ruder than this, though, if it makes you feel any better. So this side is going to be about you, my friend, and what kind of got you in this situation. Ooh, we have the High Priestess in here. Ba-da-ba-ba. One more. If we don't get one soon, we're going to stick to 3 cards. That was too many. Not one pile. One card. Look at she getting tired. Okay. Ochosi. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about your energy, my friend. Right off the bat, so 3 of Wands. I do think that you saw potential in this person. And I think that you saw potential for a long-term relationship that in a lot of ways, like, you wanted to see. I think this person was probably not super clear and upfront about, like, the fact that they weren't really looking for something that was very stable. I think, because we have the Marasa here and we have this extremely sexual, let's just be real card that seems to come out in a lot of my readings. I think there was a lot of fire and passion behind this connection. For this person, I think that they were a little bit more balanced with the desire aspect. I think that in your case, like, you kind of got wrapped up in it, and you got wrapped up in the excitement of their life. Like, they're just vibing, like, they're going at their pace, they're doing what they're doing, like, this is their element, and you kind of got pulled into their element. And deep down, I think you knew that, like, this wasn't actually your element. And I think that you suppressed that for a little while. Like, this is the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is a bit of an unstable energy in this deck. It's about being at a crossroads and honestly, like, splitting water on a sword. Very, like, unstable task. Like, you can't split water with a sword. Like, it's just not gonna happen, right? It's just gonna flow on both sides. I almost see it like a little bit of, like, tilting at emotional windmills. Like you may have been, like, swept up in this kind of, like, passionate, like, really, really fun. Like, this seems like a freaking fun person. Like, this person would be real fun to be around. Like, they're always out and about. They're doing things. They know a lot of people. They're always, like, talking about something interesting or doing something interesting. And from an outside perspective, this seems great. You're like, yes, I would like to go on your adventures with you. Like, this sounds amazing. But then you kind of get in the relationship and you're like, oh, this is it? Like, so are we dating? Are we not dating? Am I ever gonna meet your family? Like, I've met some of your friends, but, like, these just all seem like acquaintances or gym buddies. Or do you have long-term friends? And then you kind of start realizing, you're like, oh, this person doesn't really invest in stable connections, right? Like, all of their relationships are really, like, revolved around kind of, like, situations and places and activities, but not really around, like, really stable connections with other people. And so I do think at some point you did wake up to it, right? Like, oh, this really isn't This isn't what I thought it was. Um, but I think this person, like, when you tried to talk about it and actually talk about your long term goals, they kind of shut it down. Um, and there may have been like an ultimatum or like a heated argument where you're just like, dude, like, step up. Like, I need my 10 of Pentacles. Like, Atroci is, this arrow drives straight and true, and it is going to hit his target. Like, Ochosi is the Orisha of the hunt. This is hitting. And it seems to me like finally, at some point, you're like, okay, well, you gotta shit or get off the pot. Like, this is, I cannot do this forever. Um, like, yeah, this was fun, but like, this isn't super fulfilling for me. And like, you're a baby. Like, do you want to be a baby forever? And probably post that conversation, you never got a message back because this card can also be about messages flying and being received. And this message is like going backwards into the ether. So I would imagine that even just like the mere suggestion of commitment or something following this spooked the bejesus out of this person, and they just took for the hills. So I'm sorry if this is your pile and this is your little ghosty. That's not fair. Okay. So I've been asking slightly different questions in all the piles. I think for this pile, because I could see this going multiple ways, right? Like, I do think it's more likely that this pile has people who were actually in relationships with this person. It wasn't like an online dating situation, or you like went on 2 dates with this person. Like, you spent time with this person. Like, you put in some work. Just like I just put in work to put my fingers behind this to shuffle and then move them right back out. Tilting at windmills today. So I think we can check in to how this connection is changing and whether or not this person is going to be ready for any sort of stable commitment. I kind of see that you have like laid out your cards enough or drawn a line in the sand enough that this person knows what you want, and it's really up to them on whether they're actually going to deliver it. I think this person cares about you. I don't think the Lover's card would be upright, especially the Lover's card in this deck, because it talks about duality a lot. It's less about choices in love and more about finding balance in love. So I feel like that aspect like is there for this connection for them. It's really about their running qualities and the fact that they seem to be very allergic to any sort of commitment or anything that goes more than surface deep. The other thing that makes me feel a little bit more like optimistic about this is we did have cards of growth. Although they were reversed, they were there. So it doesn't really point to stagnancy, and threshold was actually upright. So let me pull out that card again. This person might take a step. It is not like I'm falling backwards. Like, that's how I would read that. Like, hell nah. This person looked like they were like, okay, I'm considering this. Like, I am really considering taking that step. And so let's see. Like, because this could be like a little like temporary ghost, you know, like maybe this person hasn't talked to you in like 2 weeks and you're wondering like, shit, well, I kind of gave them an ultimatum, but are they going to come back? it might even take a little bit longer, like a month or something like that, where they're like, yeah, I actually really love this person and I really miss them and I'm an idiot. You know, like this person is worth me changing and growing for and getting my shit together. So let's see. Um, let's dig into how this person's mindset is changing. Woo! Justice, balance, ace of coins. Mm, they know that they have been unfair to you. They know. Like it is not even a question in their mind. Um, I'm gonna be really salty, but I just heard like this person is putting on their big boy pants. I don't know if that's my word though, or one of your spirits, but that is hilarious. And yeah, I think this person is putting on their big boy pants. Like, if I had to look at this and be like, is this person, do they care? Like, are they cool? You know, I think this person has a lot of love for you. And they see your value. Like, they're like, look, like, this was imbalanced. I was a little bit of a chump, you know, like, I want to get this connection in balance where there's an equal give and take, where we're able to progress. Like my eye is opening. I'm getting more clarity on what like what a stable, good relationship and balance could look like. Like the opportunities it could bring to my life. Like look at how beautiful this card is with like little flowers in it. Like this person's like, shit, there's something here. This could bring a lot of value to my life. And this could bring a lot of stability in a way that I haven't really considered before. And I don't want to give this up. I don't want to give up this opportunity for stability and balance and happiness. Like, I love this person. I want to give them these like damn flowers. I want to come in and I want to give him this coin. And the Knight of Coins is slow, okay? He's stupid sometimes. Like, he's a little thick. He's got this, like, big helmet on, okay? It keeps the feelings from coming in. It keeps thought from penetrating. But he's stable, and when he makes a decision, he makes a decision. And I think this person wants to offer a coin in earnest. And they want to match the love that you're offering them. And their love might look a little bit different. Like this person does seem like they are very like into their 3D life, you know, like their idea of enjoyment is very physical in a lot of ways. Like they like traveling or going to the gym or just like doing stuff. So it might not be like a mushy gushy, like lovey-dovey offer. Like this isn't the Knight of Cups, but I think that they are really considering building with you. Like they want to move forward. So I think this is super positive. I think we can ask maybe about like their potential actions in the near future, and whether you're going to hear from this person, but I don't know, man. I think, honestly, this is pretty clear. Like, I don't really have a lot of questions after this. Like, I mean, this person knows that they're a dummy and you're a catch. Like, they're literally just like, how do I get back? How do I get back? I want that love. I want that cup. I'm willing to invest in it. Let's go. Okay. Let's instead, I am going to, should we do channel? First, I'm going to ask a little bit about the blockages that are still existing for this person. And then maybe we'll pull some channeled messages if I feel like it. I don't know. These have been long readings. I'm asking a lot of questions. Whatevs. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Well. Those two were a little hesitant to come out. I feel like this person is feeling sheepish. Sheepish. Maybe like one more. Okay. Yeah. I think this person really is working on figuring out themselves. Like they are at the edge. I'm going to look at the bottom of the deck too, actually. Oh, yeah. Finding out the truth crushed me. And it's right under the Queen of Cups. Like, I really think that this person wishes that things that could be different, and they're also working on making things different. Like temperance is about balancing things out. It's about creating gold out of heavy metal. You know, like it's really about addressing and incorporating lessons that you've learned and helping them manifest in your life in a way that's going to serve you long term. So I really do think that they wish things could be different, and also they are going to make sure that things are different. I mean, obviously, like, the caveat is you have to be willing to accept their apology as well. And I think they know that there's a potential that you're going to be like, dude, you're a dumbass. Like, no, I'm done with your shit. You know, like, you've made me wait for a really long time. You were immature and I'm over it. That is a huge potential, right? So they're wishing, but I think they're also really like acting on it, you know? Like I lost myself for a little while. I feel like this person is just figuring out like how to build that solid foundation where they're like, oh, I want to offer something to somebody, but like I don't actually know what a coin is, so I need to figure out for myself like what is a coin? How do I give that to somebody? I don't think this person really ever considered that or um, ever was in a situation where they really loved somebody enough where they thought that like they were willing to put the work in for it. I feel like this person just kind of like didn't want to work for it, and it was really easy and fun with you at first, but then all of a sudden you started like asking for things and like putting up roadblocks, and they were like, dude, like I've never given stuff to people before. Like what is this? Like no, you know, and like they're asking for something, and dude, big mistake, like big freaking mistake. But I think it's interesting too. Like I didn't really think about this when I was pulling the cards, but there's no card under this. There's no blockage to resolve here because this person freaking knows. Like this person is so aware of how they've messed up. Like so aware of it. The next one is my life is not as together as it seems. And like, duh. Like this person is avoiding via activities. Like they probably look like they have a really amazing life and it's exciting on the outside, but like their inner world is just not up to snuff, or at least where it should be at this point in life, wherever they're at. And then finally, finding out the truth crushed me. Oof. And you know what? I just looked at the back and oh my god. These are just like a message. Like, okay, I'm going to stop pulling cards, but I think this just like really. So, finding out the truth crushed me. I feel you leaving me behind. I can't stop thinking about you. I left you before you could leave me, and I hid who I really am from you. This person has realized how much they've messed up and how they are lacking. Like, I think they were hiding from themselves too. I don't think that this doesn't feel malicious. This doesn't feel like this person lied to you. Um, I feel like this person was hiding from themselves, and through that, they hid from you as well. Like, you can't really be in a partnership unless you are willing to be seen. And this person didn't really ever want to go that deep. They were just kind of like on the edge of the threshold and just kind of like, nah, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next year. Like, maybe not going to be for me right now. We'll just leave it. And I think through missing you and having that absence in their life, they've really realized that there's a lot of value that they were just missing in life. And they feel like an idiot. They're like, oh my God, like, how did I never see this before? And I think they're very scared that you're going to take a look at them and be like, ooh. Like, I dealt with that once, and I don't think I want to do it again. I think that really scares them. But I do think that this is a very like active person, and they're very goal oriented. Like, they check off their little boxes, they keep it moving. And I feel like they're like starting to get that energy moving towards you. Like, how do I integrate all these lessons, and then how do I actually offer something stable to move forward? So I don't see these as like really like limiting messages. I think this is, honestly, this is them like stepping up and being like, yeah, I messed up. So I'm just very surprised that somebody who ghosted actually like realized that what they did was wrong. I think this is just very, very surprising for me right now. Um, Sorry, I just wasn't expecting it. No hate to our little ghosties. Okay, so while you're waiting for this person to get their shit together, I'm just gonna pull you some pieces of advice for things that you could focus on. Because the worst thing that we can do is focus on a little ghosty. Um, we want to focus on ourselves, and it seems like this person is gonna come back, but truly, it is their mess to fix. And leave it on them to fix it. Like, this isn't you, boo. Um, too many. Okay, a couple cards, my muertos, for advice. Oh. Okay, all three of these came out. Maybe I just didn't shuffle them well enough, but all three of these cards came out in the last reading. But you know what? I'm gonna roll with it. These are all like the darker moon goddesses. This is the Moon Witch Oracle. And in Santeria, the energy that's like very like these three is Oya. And I'm crowned Oya in Santeria, and Oya also came out in person one spread, although she was reversed. She was a little card with eggplanties. I wonder if I can find her so let's pull her in here, because she deserves her moment along with her sisters as well. And we're gonna flip her up right. But you can see she's the wind. She's lightning. She's swift change. Like, she's like, let's move along. She's the Three of Pence in this deck. Like, okay, like, enough of this wishy-washy, like, little child energy. She don't like that. Like, Oya doesn't really like kids, like, technically I'm her daughter, but like, she really don't like kids. Like, she does not choose a lot of people. And I feel like her presence in this reading and just this energy in general, like, she does not like man children or woman children, and whoever type of child this is, um, that energy is not going to stand for her. Like, you need to be decisive in your actions. You need to figure out what you want and you need to go get it. And I think that is really her advice for you too. Like, continue to be in your power, right? Like, Kali, step into unknown and do not be afraid. Like, speak your truth. Tell this person, look at this. I got multiple arms. I got chains on my chest. Like, there's a sun around my crowned head. I don't even know if you can see that well, but this is a beautiful card with a beautiful goddess on it. And you are well within your right, and you should tell this person, yo, like, this is what I want. I want a stable future. I want someone who wants to invest in me and is not afraid of their shadow. Um, with that in mind, once you speak, and I'm also noticing like the light on these like does not shine very well. She's also holding a sword, which I think just enhances that like communication message. Like, I mean, don't be brutal with it, but definitely speak your needs. Um, then we have Hecate. Change is important. Release the past. Like, if this person truly comes to you with their coin and says, like, I'm so sorry, I really messed up. You mean so much to me. Like, I have something stable to offer you, and I want to offer that to you. Release the past. You know, like, our actions in the past, especially if people are willing to come to the table and apologize and own up to it and change and promise not to do it again in the future, like, that is rare. That is so freaking rare. So it's okay to, once in a while let some behaviors like ghosting slide. In this case, I'm leaning towards, yeah, if they come at you right, if they come at you right. Let me say that one more time. If they come at you right, forgive them. Release the past. And if they don't, forget them. Release the past. I mean, it's kind of like, it's all or nothing, right? This person, if they can't offer you something stable and they don't want to change, change is important. Change is important. Oh yeah, it's all about change. Change is important. Release them. Either way, you're going to be following Lilith's advice, which is to reclaim your power. And I pointed this out in the last reading too, because it was really fitting. Like, she has her little hand on her throat chakra. And she's willing to get a little bit messy. Okay, this is blood. She's technically, I think she's a vampire. Maybe. I don't know. Not my practice, but same type of energy. She's a warrior. It's okay to get a little messy sometimes. It's okay to stand up for yourself and stand up for your needs. And this is just a reminder that you have power and your needs are important, and it is important for you to voice those and also follow through. Like, don't let this person come back if they're not ready, and don't let them offer you less than what you're looking for. Okay, I think that's all the advice that I have for you. Again, I'm truly sorry that you are going through a little ghosty situation. They're never fun. You would hope that people could communicate a little bit better, but I am hopeful for this person. And I think you're a badass. You have a lot of goddesses who stood up for you in this reading, and I think that is truly amazing. So thank you for spending time with me. Again, this is my second reading on YouTube, so it really means a lot that you're here. If this resonated, please comment. Commenting, liking, subscribing. It will really help me grow my channel. It also is an energy transfer with me as well. So very good way to support and kind of tune into my energy. I hope you have an amazing week, month, year. Um, and I hope you will come back soon and hang out with me um, and watch another reading on my channel. Okay. Thanks. Bye.